Have you been thinking about moving to Northwest Arkansas?
Whew. A great place to check out would be Siloam Springs. We're going to give you a guided tour today around Siloam Springs and point out some of the best stuff to check out in the area, as well as show you some construction sites. And we promise it will be well worth your drive to come out and check out Siloam Springs when you're in the area.
Hey, this is Brent.
This is Alan.
With the Living in Arkansas team. We are excited to show you Siloam Springs today on a detailed map. And we're out here on a new construction site, and there's new construction all over Northwest Arkansas, and how Siloam Springs connects to everything, and how it's going to be a vital growth area for Northwest Arkansas.
Look forward to showing you around. Don't forget to click that subscribe button so you don't miss our content. Click that like. Come back next time too. We'll see you then.
So, Siloam Springs is a great part of Northwest Arkansas. It's about 20 minutes away from Tawnytown and Springdale, about 25-30 minutes away from Fayetteville. Bentonville, you're looking at 35 minutes or so, depending on traffic. But as far as the airport, you're less than 20 minutes away from the airport. You can get there really, really quickly. And we're going to go over just some nice features of Siloam Springs and some features and benefits and a lot of activities and where the hospital's at, shopping and all that. So let's zoom in here. This is Highway 412 east and west. And coming in on the east side, you have a recreational field, airport, the municipal airport, Smithfield. And you're going to come into the main larger shopping area. You got Lowe's and Walmart, and there's some clothing stores, a bunch of restaurants here. And there's a bunch of new neighborhoods going in just south of 412 off of 85 and 4. There's affordable houses, and there's some larger houses on land going in. What else? Downtown Siloam Springs is a great, fun place to just visit. 28 Springs. So there's a cool story about 28 Springs, and I've got Alan here with me.
So the backstory to 28 Springs as a restaurant is that the owner of the business is a prominent person in the area, and they wanted to open a high-end restaurant in this area. So they actually brought in a chef from a top-notch chef from a big restaurant out of area. And my understanding is that they were more interested in just making sure that the town had, as a smaller town, that it had the opportunity to have fine dining, if you will. But the food there is amazing. We've eaten there a half dozen times, a couple of birthdays, good stuff.
Yeah. And there's a nice little park and gazebo. There's a few breweries downtown. Those are really good. They have great samples. And
yeah, you see Ziggy Wurst there on the map. Don't miss that. That is the bratwurst place. I think they have like 25 different kinds of bratwurst as far as that you can choose from. So if you're into sausage, then Ziggy Wurst is a good choice. And it actually is just a little hole in the wall, and sometimes those are the best places. So
and there's another one over here called Ivory Bill, and it popped up, but Ivory Bill is another great brewery. Just get some snacks and some good brews. And then moving a little bit west is John Brown University, Christian University. That they have a beautiful campus, great place to go to school for all sorts of different degrees. And the bulk of Siloam schools are right here. There's 5 public schools in Siloam Springs. So also in the west side is, you have to mention it, is the Cherokee Hotel Casino. I'm not much of a gambler, but I've heard it's a good place to go get a good meal sometimes. And
So they do have a fantastic buffet at the casino there, as well as there's a steakhouse in there that has some pretty good steaks. So if you like the gaming, that's there. There's also the things that would normally be around a casino. So you've got some places that do check cashing and some pawn shops and that kind of stuff. So little bit different kind of part of town, but as a whole, Siloam's a great little town. And when I say little town, it is still a small town. A lot of the downtown area itself, in and around Maine and Mount Olive area on over to the university, there are a whole bunch of older shops, just little downtown Main Street type shops where you can go check it out. And you can see right there where 28 Springs is. That's kind of where the downtown area is. Siloam Springs has been around for a long time. So you see the Siloam Springs Museum there. Great place to just kind of stop and get the history of the area. Pretty neat.
yeah. And just for clarification, this is not free Wi-Fi of water in Siloam Springs. It's the water plant. They're just filtering out the water. I thought that would be funny. You can laugh later. And then just north of Siloam Springs there's a power plant up here. That is one of the bigger industries. There's McKee Foods, which is like they make Little Debbie cakes, and there's then just north in Gentry and Decatur, there are some chicken processing plants for hatcheries and whatnot with Simmons Foods. So that's a pretty big industry in this area. A fun thing worth noting is the drive-through safari. It's not our claim to fame for Tiger King or anything like that, but I'm sure they've bought a tiger or something from them, and it's a fun family experience to go see some animals, pet some animals, get close to some wildlife. And south of Siloam Springs is this kayak park. And in a different video, we cover some footage of this. It's a really fun place to just grab an inner tube, grab your kayak. They actually manufactured that slope right there. There's a concrete, I don't know what you want to call it, but there's just a concrete ramp under the water that gives it that flow. So you can just practice with being on an inner tube or a kayak, and it's a really fun place to just go hang out and yeah.
So on the weekend, you can see hundreds of people there at the kayak park. Pretty fun, inner tubing, barbecuing, and so on. Interestingly, they are expanding the kayak park concept. The new one is going to be right about here where my mouse is. They are going to be putting, I believe I heard $5 million into developing that kayak part. It's going to be substantially bigger than this one, but it seems to be a fun pastime. Great weekend trip to go out barbecue, watch some people go down the rapids, as little as they are, but still good fun. Good fun time for the family. Fairly safe. Nothing too dangerous about the way they've set it up. So family fun.
Yeah. So Siloam Springs, you got your kayak park, but if you want a little bit bigger water, you got Beaver Lake over here. That's about 45, 50 minutes away. Depends on where you go. And then about an hour away, you have Grand Lake in Jay or Grove, Oklahoma. Two great lakes to go play around in. You can rent some boats. So some of the future roads coming into Siloam Springs in the 412 area, this highway, the 612 highway, is going to come in right here. And what that's going to do for Siloam Springs is that's a 15-minute drive doing 65, 70 miles an hour. Neighborhoods are going to start popping up on the east side of Siloam Springs, and you're going to be able to get to Bentonville a whole lot faster, probably save 10, 15 minutes off the commute, avoiding all the traffic going north on 49 there. And that's going to save you a bunch of time, but it's also going to increase the property values, and there's going to be a bunch more neighborhoods popping up, expanding eastward with Siloam Springs. And, like any city, you're going to get the more neighborhood feel right here by the airport. There's some great neighborhoods that we did a tour through. There's a few, some of those are brand new in there. Some of them are 10 years old. And the traffic in Siloam Springs is not horrible. Sometimes you can get caught if you hit it at the wrong time. You're going to get caught on every light, and it's going to take you 20 minutes to get from one side to the other. But of course, like anything, you could also hit all the green lights and make it through in less than 10 minutes. And so traffic's not a huge deal.
One thing I will say about that potential freeway development coming in at 612 that'll go up to Bentonville, that's been on the books to build for about 20 years. So it hasn't happened yet. They have finished a section of it, as you can kind of see it coming off there. And they're continuing to tinker around with it. So it could be soon. It could be a long time. At the rate things are going, who knows? But it'll be pretty neat when they do get that finished and we're able to cut out all that commute to get up to the Bentonville area. It'll sure shortcut things.
Most certainly. And that's pretty much our map tour of Siloam Springs, Northwest Arkansas.
Don't forget to hit us up if you would like a tour map of the area. We can shoot you a tour map specific to Siloam Springs that would outline some different neighborhoods. And don't forget to hit that like button and that subscription button so you don't miss out on any of our content. We love producing it for you, and we look forward to seeing you next time.